Hey, how's it going? It's Chris at PearsonCopy.com, and I'm here to help your brand make more sales with email. As a part of my 100 emails and 100 days breakdown challenge, I'm breaking down an email from a brand called Beardbrand. I am a customer of theirs. I have been for about a year and a half, 2 years now, if I remember correctly, and I really really like their products. So that's a little bit of context behind that. This email is I would consider like a product focused newsletter. So they focus on one product and also to one concept, so they can educate their customers. That's another reason why I like Beardbrand with their emails, their marketing in general, and just their brand overall, is that they lead with education. So they're always trying to teach and help you learn something so that you can apply their products in your life through that education. Education or educating their customers builds a lot of trust, builds relationships, and it helps people get closer to the brand and remember them, because when they go to put products in their beards or even their hair, they're thinking, "Yep, Beardbrand told me this is how to do this is how I was going to do it. I feel more confident and it's working. I trust them." So those are a few things why I like Beardbrand in general, but also too, this email stuck out to me because they're focusing on beard softeners, their beard softener, and how they actually got me to open and click on this email. I think was actually pretty great. So I'm going to break that down for you. That's the context behind the email. Let's dive in. The subject line here: life is hard, soften up. So two things come to mind here. When I first saw it, the first thing I did was hard and soft. That's a contrast. Those aren't supposed to be together. I have to read this and open up. Like, what are they talking about? So it's just a straight curiosity hook, but it's a contrast based one. So anything that contrasts one another it typically does is it tells the brain, hey, these aren't supposed to be together. The pattern, it interrupts that pattern of things that are supposed to be together and not supposed to be together, and it interrupts it, and it says, hey, you need to click on this because you have to know why these two things are together now. Like, this is a pattern you've not seen, or it's interrupted your typical pattern that you see with this type of language or words or sentences, etc. And you have to go click and see what it's about. So that right there, I think that's the first thing. That's the one thing that the subject line does a lot with 5 words. It lifts and does a lot of heavy lifting to get people to click on the email. The second thing is the idea of life is hard. That's acknowledging something that's true. So there's a truth there. And then soften up. That can mean a lot of different things. So that can mean like soften up on yourself, soften up on your beard, soften up on whatever. Like, give yourself grace that life is hard. You're doing your best. So two things this subject line does: one, it has a contrast, and then two, it acknowledges something that's real and true for humanity in general. So that those 5 words do a lot of heavy lifting with the subject line, and it gets you to click. The next thing, the from name and from email address, pretty standard, pretty straightforward. Beardbrand uses their brand name and then a hello at beardbrand.com. So it's pretty straightforward. They also do something where I've seen where they have, I believe it's Mike Lawson, one of their founders, and I believe the copywriter, or one of them, or leads the team there. They will come out and write an email from them specifically, not just the brand, but they'll come out from behind the brand and speak to their list as themselves. So that's something too that I've gotten a few questions from brands about is, hey, we want to have brand, like, we want the brand to face the customer, but we also want to be able to come out from behind the brand and say stuff specifically to the customer as ourselves. And you can totally do that. You can play both sides of the line there. You just have to understand that you have to listen to your customers, because if they like you more than they like speaking to the brand, you're going to have to do more of you, because that's what the customers want. Typically, when owners and founders do come out and say like, hey, this is me, I'm talking for the brand, next to the brand, they do typically get more attention because it is a person to person conversation instead of a brand to a person. So just be ready for that. If you do it, it's not a bad thing. It's actually a great thing. It means that your customers actually believe that there's a person or people or a team behind the brand that they want to connect with, and you will potentially get more opens, clicks, and sales because of it. So just keep that in mind when it comes to the from names and the from email addresses. That is a potential thing you can do is have a brand facing the customer, and also to speak to your customers as yourself, not the brand, but for the brand, right? With that being said, moving down. We've got just the brand logo here. Beardbrand recently, over the last couple of weeks, as at the time of this recording, they switched up how their emails look. So they definitely moved more towards a plain text setup. They changed the font, and the spacing on the lettering is a lot more. They still do use the image CTA at the bottom, which I think is fine. I think it's great. It's product based. And then they've been putting their featured products. This is new here. They used to just put an image of the featured product like this one here, and just do another image down here, below it, and sell that way with the CTA. Now they're using looks like product images and products pulled from their actual store that they're selling from, as opposed to just uploading and laying it into the email directly. So that's something to keep in mind here too. I believe I do have copies of their older emails, which I could do a B or before and after type deal, and just kind of explain the differences and what I see. So I may do that later as an email. That's a great idea. So as we move into the email, so we get the logo here, very simple, very clean, doesn't get in the way, it's not intrusive. It says, hey, this is our logo. If you know us, then you know that you're in the right place. You're reading a Beardbrand email. The main concept of this email, and it ties into the soften up piece in the subject line, is advanced beard softener. So, or advanced beard softening. So they're talking about a concept of how to soften your beard, and it's the advanced version. So here are different ways that, if you're just using conditioner in general, here are different ways to make your beard even softer if you're ready for it. And this ties right into what I said earlier about their education approach and their education angle. Is they definitely educate a lot when they're selling, and they build trust and build relationships that way with their customers. The first thing here, so this is a pain point. This is a problem or a pain point that people who have beards like myself and the people around me that love me, or they care for me, or that want to be around me, like friends and stuff. A soft beard basically keeps you and everyone close to you happier about your facial hair. A wiry or not soft beard can be annoying to hug. And like if you give somebody a hug and it's on their neck or something, it's really weird to feel that wiry hair. If it's soft, they actually don't really notice it, or they say, "Oh wow, your beard's really soft." So that is something that's a real thing. And it sounds weird to talk about, but like that is a real pain point that people with beards have, and those that have people in their lives that have beards, they deal with, because that person's beard is not soft. It's very wiry and uncomfortable to actually touch. So that's a big pain point that they mention here, and it's the main. I'd say that one of the main objections or main pain points when it comes to how soft or how hard your beard is. And they transition this into, okay, so this is the pain point you're feeling, which most people that aren't using conditioner or softener very often are definitely feeling. They say, hey, how do you soften up that rough and wiry beard? You start by conditioning in the shower with a beard conditioner, or as we call it, beard softener. So they go from the pain here and kind of explain it, and then they dive into the solution. So you have your problem, your solution, and then they move over to the features. So the features and benefits of their own Beardbrand softener. And so, yeah, problem, solution, their product, and the features and benefits of it. And then here we have another promise of, like, most men notice results the first time they use Beardbrand beard softener. So that's a promise. Something here that I think would do really well, potentially increasing clicks and sales, is they make a promise here of most men notice results the first time they use Beardbrand beard softener. Is put 3, 5, maybe 7 reviews of people talking about the Beardbrand softener here, because this is a statement of proof. This is like a claim almost. And showing social proof of that actually being the real deal for your product would actually strengthen this email a bit, I think. And then the next section after they say, hey, first time users notice results first time they use it. But if you want to make your beard even more soft, touchable, and easy to style, try these advanced beard softening techniques. So if you look at this, they say, hey, advanced beard softening, this is the general just product information and like just a starter, like beginner level of like, this is what you need to do. And then they dive into more education that sells this Beardbrand softener even more. And it's the advanced version, right? So co-washing. So this one basically talks about how you should use the softener more often than the actual beard wash. Use the beard wash once or twice a week if you need a deep clean. Otherwise, just use a softener. There's enough cleaning properties in it to actually keep your beard healthy and smelling good and not dirty. But if you have a lot of sweat, or go out on like a mud run or something, or go out hiking, or do something where your beard's actually really dirty, you can wash it once or twice a week with the wash. So, and the main thing here is it's counterintuitive. Most they would say most people think that you need to wash your beard every day, and it's like, no, you don't. What you need is you need to keep it soft, and the conditioner or the softener actually helps you do that. Plus, it has like I said, cleaning properties that make it so it's actually getting washed, but it's not harsh. It's not as harsh as washing every day, because it is stripping some minerals and oils and stuff away. And so they talk about that here. And then, so that's the first one, is co-washing. And then the second one is let it soak. So something you can do, and they did go through the process of how you can put the beard softener in at the beginning of your shower, let it soak, and at the end wash it out. So that's another advanced way. And then the next advanced way, so it's almost like a listicle, right? There's three different versions of this. The third version is leave it in. So you can put in a small amount of the beard softener, leave it in, and then before you and leave it in, like get out of the shower and go about your day. But before you put in more, you need to wash. You need to at least rinse out what you put in prior, and then put in your next batch. So again, like I said earlier, Beardbrand does a lot of education when it comes to selling. They're educating to build a relationship and earn trust, and then also to selling their products. So, and then the last piece here that I really like is it's a trust builder. This is them letting people know that they're real. They're not trying to sell you something because they're selling it. They're trying to sell you a concept, an idea, a process of taking care of your facial hair. They say, keep in mind that everyone's beard is different. That statement right there is a trust builder. that right there tells you that, hey, we know that your beard and the next person's beard and the next person's beard is going to be different. So try these and see which one works and stick with it. That's something that throughout Beardbrand in general, when I'm reading their copy and their marketing, is that's their approach, is like, we want to educate you to find the best option for you, and then here's the product that fits that option. And then that's basically where they stop their selling. Like, they don't try to push it and say you have to have this because it's the only version. It's like, no, if you have a wire beard, if you have a short beard, long beard, soft beard, thin, thick, like whatever it may be, we have a product for these things and you can use it. Here it is. Otherwise, here's the education. Like, we want to teach you how to take care of yourself and take care of your beard. So that's something I really like about Beardbrand. It's a very, very educational approach. And then as we move down the email, a couple pieces left here. They kept their CTA here of an image of the product being used here with the Shop Now button. So this is a different version, but they keep the image as a CTA, like a giant, a bigger image for the CTA, as opposed to a product with a button. I do believe they added, as we move down here, the featured product section. So before, they would use these images here to sell the products. But in this one, they use, and this is typically pulled from their store. So whether you're using WooCommerce, Shopify, Ecommerce, etc., you can actually pull this into your email provider or email software, because you have a code tech connection, right? You can integrate them. You can actually pull these in without having to actually design anything. You can just pull them in and basically slot them into certain places inside your email. This right here, I haven't seen a lot with Beardbrand. So with their recent changes to their emails and their branding and their text and font and things, I think they're starting to pull these in now too, which is great. I really like these because they're easy you can click here. And they go right to the product, which is great. And because this email is about beard softening, all of these products help do that at various stages of various levels of it. So you can click on the one that looks interesting to you and go shop. So it's directly related to the Life is Hard, Soften Up concept and angle. And then the final pieces here, keep on growing. That's their tagline. They have their socials here. I would even consider removing the socials. Unless it's a social focused email, I typically try and keep those out because I want them to focus on buying the product or not buying it. If I want to connect with them on social, then I do that on social channels and get them over there. Use lookalike audience in Facebook. And if you want to say, hey, let's cross pollinate and get people on other channels, then send emails about that, and just send emails about social, like, hey, this is what we're doing over on Instagram. Go follow us for inspiration, and make that the email. And don't sell anything. Just sell them the idea of going over on Instagram if they like that, or if they like that or prefer that instead. So again, back to like I've said in other breakdowns, one email, one product, one offer, one thing per email. That typically keeps people focused on what you want them to do when they open your emails. And then the final pieces, the standard footer info, address, etc. Copyright. So yeah, there's quite a few insights in this email. So go back through and listen for them. I'll give you a couple that off the top of my head that I found or I saw here. Life is Hard, Soften Up. So the contrast in the subject line, that's a great move that gets people's attention. Selling through education, so educational selling. Beardbrand does this really well. So you can go back through this email and just read it and say, okay, this is the tone and angle and the voice that we need to use to sell with education. Like, educate people to build trust and build a relationship, and then sell them our products, because the solution to the problems we're educating them on are our products. So you can sell through that into your beard softener products, etc. And then the final thing is the feature product section. If you have a chance to with each email, I know I said one thing, one email, but if these relate to the concept and that's what you're selling is beard softening or something else, these featured products actually get clicked on quite a bit. So include those if you want. If not, just focus on the one thing like this with the beard softener. So those are 3 big insights. I hope these helped. Like I said, this email is a breakdown, a part of my 100 emails, 100 days breakdown challenge to help your brand make more sales with email. I've got other videos over on my YouTube channel, so go check those out if you want to see more of these breakdowns and get some more insights for your brand. In the meantime, I hope you have a great day. Thanks for watching.